Right. And we're sharing this because we understand that our listeners are probably feeling the exact same thing. I'm sure a lot of you are out there going, oh, over the break, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then things may have not happened.
And actually, what we would love for you to do is you put a comment, whatever you see the post for this episode, and you comment and you write to us the thing that you were supposed to do over the holidays that didn't get done, so that we can all share in the common, and then we can, embrace each other with love and generosity. As we're only human and we need a break every now and again, and it's okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Power Platform Boost podcast, your timely source of Power Platform news and updates with your hosts, Nick Dolman and Ulrikke Ackerbeck.
Hello, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I think I'm fighting off a little bit of a cold kind of thing, so I'll try not to cough too much in the microphone during this recording.
Oh,
but no, it's all good. I took some good drugs last night and had a really good sleep, so I'll be fine. I'm not one of these man flu guys that every little thing kind of takes me down. I'm kind of like, no, let's just power through it. We're fine.
I know. Yeah, we're fine. Yeah, in plural. Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. I had a very relaxing Christmas holiday with the kids, went to the Canary Islands where my dad is and have an apartment there. So it was all good. Just stayed by the pool, did some reading, did not do any work that I was supposed to do. So one of those things where on Friday afternoon, I took Friday off as well because we got back the night to Friday morning. But I opened my laptop to kind of get a bit of a soft start, just go through the inbox and just warm up. And that's when it hit me. The to-do list is like, oh, shoot, I promised to do this and this and this and that. Yep. So the whole weekend, it's been crappy weather. Fortunately for me, because then if it's good weather, I need to be outside, but it was crappy weather all weekend through. So I've been by my computer, just doing all the things I said I was supposed to do over the Christmas holidays. So, and that goes for the PCF control as well. I'm sorry. The component
I'm
that
the
we were
same
supposed
boat.
to do.
Yeah, like it's a case of, we think we have all the time in the world and we unplug, and then it's like, I'm going to do this, this, and this. And then, reality hits in. And of course, then your whole mind changes, right? You want to get into the family stuff. You want to, eating all this food and, watching the Christmas movies and doing all those things. And, for myself and my family, we drove out to Gaspésie, which is, the far side of Quebec. So, that's a long drive and doing stuff there. So, all these things like, the PCF control, I looked at it on the weekend and like, oh yeah, we were going to do that. So we're still going to do it. Just, we haven't done anything yet. Because I now have some ideas.
More weeks. Yeah, me too. Yeah. No, I put pressure on myself, like I said last time, from multiple angles now. So I'm going to deliver this as a POC, my idea to a customer. So I have to get it done. It's not like, but I could do with a few more weeks to get it up and running. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Right. And we're sharing this because we understand that our listeners are probably feeling the exact same thing. I'm sure a lot of you are out there going, oh, over the break, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then things may have not happened.
And actually, what we would love for you to do is you put a comment, whatever you see the post for this episode, and you comment and you write to us the thing that you were supposed to do over the holidays that didn't get done, so that we can all share in the common, and then we can, embrace each other with love and generosity. As we're only human and we need a break every now and again, and it's okay. And you say that as if you didn't do anything, but actually you have produced quite a bit over the holidays. You've produced videos and blog posts and stuff. So actually, you're not one of the slacker ones. You're the ones that get shit done.
Well, yeah, maybe, but it was also a case of something, and I guess we'll dive right into it because people did get stuff done, and let's talk about the stuff people did do over the break.
Segue. Do.
So this is, I'll take this as like shameless self-promotion. Now we've all heard about, at Las Vegas at the PowerPlatform community conference where you were there, they announced this thing called Plan Designer, which allows you to put in, some parameters of this is the type of app I want to build and here's what I want it to do. And then going through and generating the plan, user personas, generating the apps, the data model, the whole thing. So basically you really cut down on that planning time. And I've always been a proponent of don't just start building an app from figures on keyboards, draw it out on a whiteboard, do it in a Miro board, do a design, get your requirements, get your user stories. This feature really helps that. And I was able to be part of the private preview program. I got to go in early in November and play around with this, try it out, see what it worked, see what didn't work, provide some feedback in Ignite. Ryan Cunningham and Clay Wesner presented the Plan Designer. So the public finally got to see what was happening with it. And then when I was in the Microsoft booth, this was something primarily we showed off a lot. A lot of people were very interested. So finally, everyone out there can now try it. So I wrote a blog video and did blog and video on how to configure your Power Platform preview environment, how to get the Plan Designer going. I walked through I built an event management system kind of in the plan, showed you what works, what doesn't work. So again, like I said, shameless self-promotion, but check out that video and try Plan Designer and let us know what you think. Definitely there's some gaps there, which I hopefully will soon get addressed in a few things, but overall it's pretty neat. It's pretty exciting. And this to me is getting AI to do some of that tedious stuff for you. And also I could see sitting with a customer going through Plan Designer and building a proof of concept. And your clients or your end users can immediately see very quickly what this app could look like. And you could just continue to work with that or just even use that as a proof of concept to build your real app. So check out Plan Designer. Like should be rolling out to most of the regions by now. Hopefully it only worked in the US for me when I tried it, but pretty exciting.
Very well done. And for playing with it and being out there, being early and getting the message out to people. So yeah, definitely something to check out. Other things to check out from the Copilot and AI world would be how to not use Copilot, for instance. There's a blog post by Femke Cornelissen, yeah.
She's from the Netherlands.
From the Netherlands, yes. And she has and this is also one of those LinkedIn posts, long LinkedIn posts that is really valuable, where she draws out how to avoid copy pasting, how to make sure that you edit the things that you put out that is created by Copilots, and how to have a smart conversation with the bot. So very smart. And then there's links to some blog posts that she's written as well.
Yeah. So it's a lot of different links to her content and whatever. So I found it was really good. A lot of stuff here. It's great because we're all trying to figure now. I think we're moving from the Copilot, the generative AI stuff into the agentic stuff. And so now trying to figure out actual use cases. And I know a lot of us, I know myself included, are going down rabbit holes, realizing, okay, like we talked about last time, okay, maybe just regular Power Automate's a better solution for this than trying to do the AI stuff. So this is really helpful about some of the stuff where we're not to use Copilot. So, check out that link out, check out all her articles. Her stuff is really amazing. She's really, generating a ton of content on Copilot and AI, and definitely a great resource, to follow.
Yeah. 100%. She keeps popping up in my feed as well. And I love those posts like that when you kind of summarize, so that you have that as a base, to kind of dig deeper.
Yep.
So yeah. 100%.
And then another thing that popped up was, of course, we all know who Charles Lamanna is. He's the guy in charge of the within Microsoft of the Power Platform, and he was listed as one of the experts in Fast Company. Fast Company is a magazine that I used to love to read the paper version of this. Of course, it's all online now. And him with 25 other experts predict how AI will change business and life in 2025. So, of course, it was interesting. He was like the first one listed. And of course, he's talking about agents and those types of things, the things we talk about. But you go through with all the other 24 people. And again, the theme of agents and moving from just the generative AI to the agentic AI transition, but also a couple very much red flags in terms of AI is going to get to the point where it's going to generate video that's indistinguishable from real life video. And then how potential scammers and the bad people of the internet are going to be using AI in terms of phishing emails and things like that. So, we all get those emails that it's from our bank or even from our cable providers, whatever. They look so real. And then there's the other ones where they don't quite, they purposely don't look real because they're trying to fool the people. But now if they can kind of fool us. So again, everybody, I've said this 1,000 times, be careful what you click on. Don't trust anybody. I know I've gotten, emails or calls from the insurance company, and I called up the insurance company. I said, or I got a call from the insurance company about something. This is a couple of years ago. And I said, you know what? No offense. I'm going to hang up and I'm going to call you back on your 1-800 number. And the guy was like, yep, no problem at all. I understand. And I went, looked up and I called back, and sure enough, it was legit. But again, these are the types of things we have to do now. Same if, get a call from your bank or things like that. So AI is just going to take this to the next level. So we have to be super diligent. But a lot of it wasn't all negative. There's a lot of positive stuff coming out of here. There was, some people predicting that things would be much more voice activated. I don't quite agree with that. I think what you said last week really stuck with me about people love the buttons. They love the tactile things. I think that's something that won't completely go away as much as, and that just, from their reality, yes, they might be using a lot of voice stuff, but in reality, a lot of people still keyboards. We're going to be using keyboards well into the 2030s, I predict. And we can revisit that when we do a podcast episode in 2030 in our suite somewhere, and there'll be a keyboard there.
Yeah, exactly. We'll revisit this one. No, I totally agree with you. And I don't think, as much as they're leading the way, and that's an important perspective to have as well. They're leading the way. They're showing the direction that we're going in. And still, I know that a lot of our customers are still on-prem, right? So it's, yeah. And of course, actually, that's another segue, because AI on-prem is a big deal. And more people go off the grid and go back to having their servers on premise and enable AI there for security reasons, for privacy reasons. They don't want to send all their information off to these big companies, so they create their own. It's an interesting twist, I must say, and especially when you hear that it's because of cost reductions and stuff like that. It's more cheap to have your data stored in your local storage and have your local AI run on it, and then to have it in the cloud, etc. So I just love watching this space to see where it goes, but I also know that it's more balanced that maybe Charles want to let in on. So let's put a pin on it and just to see what it's how it will turn out. I don't think we'll be out of a job, and I don't think that, I don't know. I love running mind experiments on this as well. If none of what you can see anywhere with your eyes you can trust, what does that do to humans? So I tried to I saw my grandmother yesterday, and we talked about a commercial or a video that she'd seen, and I said, that's not real. She's just like, yeah, what do you mean it's not real? I was like, you cannot trust a single thing that you see with your eyes on any digital device from now on until the day you die, because half of it is not real. And she struggled with it, right? Because
yep.
And she's not up to kind of resource checking, etc. Right? So if you don't have the resources or the time to check the source of what you're watching, then you kind of have to assume that it's fake. And what does that do to us as consumers of visual entertainment and stimuli all the time when you can't trust anything?
Well, think of elections. That is going to be the biggest thing. We're going to be having an election in Canada this year. There was just one in the US. All of this information generated. Now, I did hear someone talk to, I forget where I heard this, but about potentially using a blockchain to somehow sign, news reports or something. So you do have some sort of trust advisory there. I'm not sure how that would work, but again, this is the new reality, and this is the scary part of AI. How it can affect things. Like, all it takes is someone to put a video together of a prominent politician doing some things, and it's sort of like, well, yeah, you put the parameters around it, it could really affect the outcome of things like elections or whatever. So, yeah, scary stuff.
So maybe politics will go back to being just about politics then, because if you can't trust anything, you can't trust the smudging videos that someone puts out there, then goes both ways, and suddenly it's all about the politics again and not about the personal vendettas. So maybe it's a good thing if we source check a little bit more, and it makes us more diligent when we look up things online. So, but yeah, it's let's get back to the light and easy news and updates from the Power Platform, the world of Power Platform. Let's start at the top of the list, because now we've kind of started at the bottom going down, and start with Nathan Rose. You put 3.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
Before we do that, let's the first item there about congratulations to the Power Platform Weekly.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
Let's super positive. 4 years. I can't believe it. That they've been out. So that's the newsletter where, it comes in every Monday morning. I think they took a break over the holiday. Like, we didn't take a break, but that's okay.
No, they didn't, because they put out their the special edition, right? So that was in the middle of Christmas.
We were one of the special edition items about the podcast.
Special edition items. Yeah. Carina was so sweet, and she reached out to us with an interview, and you answered the questions very well about how we got started and why we're doing this, and if we had any tips and tricks for other podcasters out there to keep the consistency, keep it going. And it just kind of made me think, oh, so we're one of the podcasts that kept it going now? Are we already there? Because I still feel like we have to prove that we're going to keep it going, kind of new to the thing. And suddenly, maybe we're becoming a bit more seasoned. And I like that. So it's good. It's very nice.
But congrats. I know this newsletter spun from the newsletter Guido used to do before that, which ran for many years. And they've completely grabbed the torch and ran with it. And selfishly, I do say, if I posted something, I do look on the Monday morning, did my article make it to the list? Kind of thing, right? It's incentive. So
absolutely. So kudos to you,
Carina,
people.
Daniel, now I'm forgetting the names. Magnus, and now I'm drawing a blank. We'll list I know. I see your face from the US.
Ed Gonzales. That's Carina said. Carina, Daniel, Ed, and Magnus.
Yeah. But anyways, congratulations, folks. Keep it going. You have our full support.
Yep, definitely. Very, very good. And we use it as a base for this podcast a lot as well. So it's always good to have that as a baseline. And then we can move on to Nathan Rose, our favorite rant roaster of everything truth on LinkedIn. Absolutely love it. You've put 3 posts in here that he's put out lately. So this seems to me like he's really starting to be consistent and then push out content about PowerFX.
Yeah, he's PowerFX is his jam amongst other things. But yeah, he has a whole series there. One's really interesting, about using PowerFX, kind of comparing it to Excel, about the fact that PowerFX is designed for AI, or AI ties into this. And again, not getting down the AI rabbit hole. We just climbed out of one. But then also he talked about, one about relationships as well with PowerFX as well. And that kind of was very interesting. So, he does these posts. You see a lot on LinkedIn where it's kind of a series of 10 to 15 slides kind of thing. I really like that format because it's it's not quite a full blog you have to read through. It's give me the highlights, give me the points, kind of scan through. Check out those links. We have 3 of them listed here, but Nathan is one to follow, especially if you're into Power Effects or learning Power Effects. Nathan's based out of New Zealand. I believe he's from the US originally. I know he was talking about his vacation in the US as well. Hopefully, I'm looking forward to meeting you, Nathan, face to face sometime, hopefully this year.
Yeah, me too. It's perfect. I'm sorry if you hear any noise in the background. It's just my kids making food after school.
No problem.
Yeah, it's a blizzard here today. It's been snowing constantly, and it's gonna keep going for another 2 days. So right after this, it's snow plowing time. Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop. All right. Another neat little thing that we saw this week was from Matt Cullen-Jones about hydrating dev environments. So he's using Power Automate. Now, this is funny because I think actually we spilled the beans on this on the last or the episode before that, when you go and you import a solution and it shows you how you can now grab it from a file or grab it from a pipeline that you've already run, a managed or unmanaged solution. But it flashes and then it disappears. That was kind of what we said. And then we didn't break any NDA or anything, but it wasn't fully baked. Now it's fully baked and out there. So he's showing.
I'd say Matt has finished. He's given us the whole picture and the whole story. Thank you, Matt, for doing that.
Yeah, definitely. So he finished what we didn't start or what we started a couple of episodes ago. So this is about how you use the new, that new feature, or that's a feature.
Yeah, basically when you set up a new environment, a new dev environment, you try to import the solutions. We can now actually pick them from our pipeline if they've already been deployed through pipelines. Of course, the unmanaged solutions are kept there as well. So you're able to import those solutions that have already been part of the pipeline. Now, if this environment, you've already set it up as a target environment, apparently it will stop that, which makes sense. So, it's a great way to, as opposed to trying to find your solutions or even within your, building a DevOps procedure to kind of create your dev environments, which I know people have done, and that's nothing wrong with that. But this is a low code, quick and dirty way. Boom, new environment. Oh, I need these 3 solutions. Boom, boom, boom. Done, imported. Away you go, start developing. And it'd be interesting to see how this ties into with that, which is another feature that's still kind of coming out, rolling out, that's a little half-baked, is the GitHub integration, or the Git integration with solutions. I've tried it. I've run into a few roadblocks. I reached out to our friend Yannick Riekmans, who's done a lot with it. And I said, Yannick, am I missing something? And he kind of responded back going, no, it doesn't do what you want it to do in that respect yet. So, okay. Anyways, keep an eye out. We'll talk about that this year for sure, guaranteed.
Oh, so, yeah.
ALM.
It's one of the big ones.
The ALM story just keeps rolling.
Oh, yeah. And also maybe people are a bit confused about pipelines because you can only deploy managed solutions through pipelines. But every time you use pipelines, it always grabs both unmanaged and managed solutions. And you can only deploy the managed ones. But now on the back end of it, you can actually import the unmanaged one. So it's getting more advanced, and it's kind of reaching out as a little nuggets here and there, a new functionality. And that's not the last we've seen of the pipeline history and story. It's just getting better. And we've hit our head against the wall, that wall a bit this year. But we're seeing where it's going. And it's a very good thing to watch, good space to watch.
And then,
go on.
I was just going to talk about, we're going into the Power Pages section. Our friend Michel Mendes, I think we said Michael before, but I believe it's Michel, and please correct this. I met him in Ireland at the Irish Power Platform Summit. It was really cool to meet him. He's a great guy, very enthusiastic. But at any rate, he has this really cool, blog post about using the PDF JavaScript library in Power Pages. This is something that comes up a lot. People want to see a PDF rendered in a Power Pages site. So he's shown a way how to do that. That's pretty exciting.
Very much. It's actually a requirement that I have coming up. So when I saw this, I was super excited. Oh, I don't have to search to find out how to do this. I can simply just copy the code, and he has all the code in there. So no excuse to not check it out and just go grab it and see what you can make of it. So that's perfect. Thank you so much, Michel.
Yes. And speaking of websites, and this is not Power Pages, although to be fair, you could do this with Power Pages as well. But Matthew Devaney, from good old Winnipeg here in Canada, he has a Power Automate flow to host a web application. So this is going on a technique that I know again, this isn't about me, but I posted something about 5 years ago, which I based it off of another MVP in Australia that did something similar as well. And it's kind of following a process called Jamstack, which is Jamstack is JavaScript app management or something like that. There's an acronym there. The idea is you create a static HTML file with Power Automate. You throw that up on a web page. And then, of course, with that, you can fill in whatever details or update information. That calls through an HTTP request, also calls Power Automate, which will write it back, whether to Dataverse or a SharePoint list or whatever. So again, this is why I love this kind of content, because it shows a solution of, I think, a very elegant solution that's not overly complicated, that could address a lot of web page requirements in terms of displaying data on a static website. You don't necessarily need to have it talking to Dataverse back and forth in something like Power Pages. Sometimes you do. That makes sense. But other times you just need to display some information. So this was pretty cool to see that from Matthew Devaney. It also reminded me of our friend Matt Snecker did a presentation very similar at Directions in November, and how they build their event website for Color Cloud, for example, using similar techniques to this. Of course, it's a little bit more advanced because they have a lot of more features, but it always goes to the right tool for the right job. And sometimes it's good to think out of the box. And sometimes those tools like Power Automate can really go above and beyond really what you think they can do. So check out Matthew's, his link. And of course, subscribe to his newsletter. He's really super consistent on developing blog articles, and he's very structured. He has a table of contents. You could tell he spends a lot of time and a lot of effort to make his content consistent and very readable. So thanks, Matthew, for that.
Yeah, 100%. It's always solid. And some of the times it seems that it's scratching a surface, but that's just to grab your attention. And then he just dives right in and gives you all the little details that you need to make it work. So yeah, absolutely good work. And speaking of websites, just keeping on the theme here, we saw something this week from our good friend Megan Walker as well, about how finally we can do website tracking in real-time marketing. It's been lacking, and now it's finally here. She goes through what it is about, why you need it, and how you can make it work, and also how to enable the feature. It's still in preview. It will give you a little snippet that you can add to your site or your pages, and it will give you statistics about and telemetry on website visits and also website link clicks. So you can set that up to track your visitors, and also then, of course, use that to trigger orchestration and other things in your marketing app to make sure that you reach the right people. It's so marketing these days, you used to be about, splashing your marketing all around the place, but now it's very much about the bespoke communication and the bespoke kind of message they want to get across, and you want to get it across as pointy as you possibly can. So this is very good and important enhancement to the marketing business application for sure.
Yeah,
very well done. Yep. And then last but not least, we have your mentee.
Well, yeah. Now, I hope I remember how the pronunciation of your name goes. Howdang Rashid. And if I got this wrong, please correct us. We have to screw up someone's name every episode, I think. Or I
don't think we've failed one yet. So yeah, definitely have to do that. I'm sorry.
But on the flip side, he has of course, new year, right? What are things that are on people's, goal list for 2025? Oh, I need to get my certifications, or I need to make sure I renew my certifications. I renewed my PL 400 a few weeks ago with, I think, 3 or 4 days to spare before it expires. Yeah, I did it while I was changing tires actually, but waiting in line, but that's a whole other story. I had my laptop up and everything. We won't say how many attempts I did.
While the dude was changing your tires, that's not while you were changing the tires. Just so that people get confused that he has a laptop in one hand and changing tires with the other. No. Sitting in his car while the dude changed the tires. Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So anyways, he has done, this is something that, so of course you're new to certifications or looking into the certifications, it's given a good roadmap of the order, because that's always a very common question. Like, okay, which one should I do first? Which one should I focus on? And it goes even above and beyond just the PowerPlatform one. So it's also incorporating the applied skills as well. I love the applied skills. You go in, you try it out for yourself. You click on the buttons, you build the little app, or you configure the app, or you make the changes, and then you submit that. And within minutes, it comes back telling you you passed or failed. So he kind of goes through like PL 900, great place to start. The applied skills, because PL 100 did get, I think, removed or deprecated. So that's why the applied skills are there. Going through the PL 200, 500, 400, some of the more applied skills, all the way up, including stuff like Azure fundamentals, which really makes sense. That's a certification I've not gotten. But we do in our day-to-day, we do work and integrate with Azure. So it is definitely, I should probably get that certification as well. So it's a great way to, if you're upping your skills, of course, at the end of the day, experience is where you really need to, hone your skills, become your craftsman. But these certifications do give you an exposure to all the different things, allows you to have, okay, I didn't know about this feature. I have to learn about it to pass an exam. And then the next time you're in a position where you're architecting a solution, you're like, oh yeah, this feature really applies to this particular use case. So that's why I think certification is important. So we're going to put the link in. It's to a LinkedIn post, but it's check out that certification roadmap if this is part of your 2025 goals and dreams.
Oh yeah. And it absolutely should be. So very, very good resource. Last but not least, let's just run quickly to the events that are up and coming. First one on the list for me is Arctic Cloud Developer Challenge 3-day hackathon in Oslo from the 23rd of January. It's sold out. That's fantastic. 15 teams. Well over 50 attendees, 6 judges across the board. It's going to be an amazing event for sure. And then you have Tallinn coming up.
Yep. So I'll be at Tallinn, and I have a session on the developer's guide to Power Pages. Potentially could get roped into other stuff because they were, making sure there are backup sessions. And of course, this is such a well-organized event in terms of the communication, in terms of the sessions, and I'm looking at the WhatsApp group, and even in terms of the rolling out what's going on. I know Vivian, our friend Vivian Voss, is involved in. Yeah, great job. I'm really looking forward to this, looking forward to attending this event. First time I'll be in Estonia as well. So it's another country off the checklist. And so if you're, say hi if you're going to be there. We'll be happy to meet you.
Yeah, and maybe you get a sticker. And then you have Canadian Power Platform Summit coming up the weekend before MVP Summit.
Yeah, the weekend before MVP Summit. This is in Vancouver. So tickets are now on sale. There's the, and then workshops, it's a steal. There's been some internal debate on the pricing of workshops. Right now, $249 Canadian is the early bird price. The way the exchange rate is now, it is dirt cheap, and there are some amazing workshops. There's Lisa Crosby and Dion Taylor, yeah, doing a Copilot Studio One. Like the two top people in the world, you get access to them for a full day for $249 Canadian. That's crazy. Like that's worth any kind of airfare, hotel, like that you might have to spend to get there to get that. There's also, I think, Matt Snecker and Carl Cookson. I believe they're doing an ALM one, and Joe
Griffin. maybe.
Joe Griffin is doing one on, and Sebastian, thank you, are doing one on, I believe, Power Effects as well.
Nice.
So check out those again. Early birds till January 30th. So cash in on that now. There are tickets for the general session as well. It's $25 Canadian. And again, it is not to make money. It is really just for you to have a little bit of a skin in the game that you'll show up, because we do have limited capacity. We want to make sure we use that capacity, and then also make sure that the food we order nothing goes to waste. That's really one of our biggest goals there. So definitely, if you're going to be in Vancouver, yes, it is a little bit of a fee, but the fee is just sort of like, just show up. We just want to avoid people that are just going to sign up and kind of, whether they feel like it the day of, show up or not. No, please, if you register, please show up. And if you can't, please open up your spot for someone else, because I am positive this will sell out probably in February sometime. So get on top of that sooner rather than later.
And the workshops, they sell out as well. I mean,
for sure.
It's just, if you think you're going to go, then get your ticket sooner rather than later, because these things
and the workshop,
especially at that price.
Yeah. And the workshops include a free pass to the general session. So that's another way.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then I have a Color Cloud in April I'm actually doing multiple things. I'm doing a workshop, Power Pages from creation to go live. It's my first kind of big workshop that I'm doing on my own, and it's of course said it had to be Power Pages. We're going to take you through all the steps that you need in order to get your branding foundation, in order to set your security right, to go through the checklist for to get into production, how to do ALM, to push through to test and production. We're going to set up some forms and lists and use out-of-the-box components as much as possible, and of course also dive into the different user interfaces that you need to know how to navigate to use Power Pages properly. So if you're getting started with Power Pages and doing a project, then this is the workshop for you. Also, I wanted to shout out to my mentee, Elvira Shriki. Names. I need to get that right. Sorry, Elvira, that's horrible. I'll practice. She's doing her first session there on Power Pages and Copilot as well. And I'm doing a session with Andrew Vingate on BC and Power Pages. So Color Cloud's going to be busy for me. And also, this thing is going to sell out as well. It's going to be a bit bigger than last year, but, just get your ticket right away. And then you have you have a lot of other things as well, a lot of small things this spring. Do you want to talk about one of them, or do you want to save that for later?
The one in Dynamics Minds?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so I am doing a session on Dynamics Minds. It does diverge. It is a different a session I've never done before. To be honest, I'm quite a bit nervous about it, and I'm trying to formulate in my head how I'm going to structure that altogether. But it's really, effectively, it's about another passion of mine, powerlifting, but also ties into mental health and within our profession, within our information technology profession. So it's a pretty personal story. Like I said, I'm pretty nervous about it. So we'll see how this evolves. I have some ideas how I'm going to frame that, but we'll see how that kind of forms out. So Dynamics Minds, believe it or not, I know they have selected a whole bunch of sessions, but they're still accepting session submissions till January 15th. So you'll still have a few days. If you're considering it, make sure you get that in as well. Now, we also have session submissions to a whole bunch of other events, which we've not got confirmation on. So this list might expand quite a bit.
Probably will.
Yeah. So we're sort of seeing what the status is before we make any kind of announcements there, because we don't know for sure. And a lot of it, a session submission for me actually determines whether I'm going to actually be able to go or justify the going or not. So we'll see how that evolves. And we got through quite a bit. We've stayed close to our regular time-ish. And our next episode, I say here next episode, January 8th, but that's not right. This episode will be out on 22nd
of January.
Wow.
I know.
We're into and that will be our 50th episode. Can you believe it?
Yeah, I know. Isn't it cool?
Yeah, we need to, maybe we'll I know we say now we'll do something special, but that's already in January. We're busy.
Now you don't believe in, we're shit dumb people. Come on, we can do this. Probably we'll dress up, or maybe we'll have a song or a dance, or, you just have to tune in and to see what we come up with.
Yeah, we're open to suggestions as well.
No, we're not. Of course we are. Okay, it was good chatting with you, and I love to keep up to date on the Power Platform stuff, of course. And I'll catch you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
Perfect.
Bye, everybody.
Right. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening. If you like this episode, please make sure you share it with your friends and colleagues in the community. And be sure to leave a rating or a review on your favorite streaming service. That makes it easier for others to find us. Follow us on social platforms and make sure you don't miss a single episode. Thank you for listening to the Power Platform Boost podcast with your host, Ulrikke and Nick Dolman. See you next time for your timely boost of Power Platform news and updates.